I was in the Light Horse when I was 20 years old when the war broke out, and I was a shy little boy. Everybody said he was the shyest boy they'd ever seen in their whole lives. I've changed a bit since then. And I thought, I was in the Light Horse, and I thought, well, somebody's got to go. And I'm the right age. I just happened to be unlucky to be the right age at the right time, you know. The war broke out. The day that Bob Menzies came out and declared war in Germany, I enlisted in the army. My mother didn't want to let me go. But after a few kisses and cuddles, she did. I had a lovely mother. Anyhow, that was why I joined. I thought, well, somebody had to do something. We had to do something. Somebody had to go away and fight them. Somebody had to go. And why shouldn't it be me? One day we were sitting down minding our own business when two of the biggest German bomber planes paid us a visit. We did not invite him, but they came in flying very, very low as they could possibly fly. They had bombers, they had bombs, they had cannons, they had machine guns, but they did not use any of them. They just flew around and looked at everything. Some people told us that Rommel was in one of the planes. Whether he is or what, I do not know, but I would like to know. But anyhow, they flew around and around, had a look at everything, and then they flew away. Another story is about a German fella flying a plane, taking photographs of the place. We nicknamed him Norton Trevere. Norton Trevere was a special photographer in Sydney. So we nicknamed him after him. He used to drop leaflets around the place telling us to surrender. They would look after us, they would be nice to us. We knew how nice they were going to be, so we didn't take him up on that offer. But he said, "You're living in the ground like rats." That's what we came to call when we call ourselves the Rats of Tobruk. Another story is about me. It's about me. We used to go up to what they call the bush artillery. It was firing little cannon that had been captured from the Italians when the 6th Division came in early in the war and took Derna, Tobruk, and Benghazi and Tripoli and all those places. And the Italians surrendered to them. And they had them there, dug in the ground. And we used to fire at the Germans with them. So anyhow, we were up there one time. I was in the mortar platoon, and we were up there one time firing the guns. I was firing one gun. I was in charge of one gun one time, and it knocked out an observation post. And on the artillery map, it had Snowy's OP. I'm Snowy, of course. I was proud of that. But when I was going down to be relieved, my platoon commander came up in front of me and he said, "See that gun down there with that tank down there with that gun sticking out the front of it, Snow?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You got to man that gun. We're in the second line of defence." I said, "Sir, I know nothing about that gun." He said, "I know you don't." "Yeah, no, I don't either," he said, "but you've got to learn, haven't you?" So Bing Crosby and I got in the gun and we fiddled around. We had it work pretty good. We reckon we'd kill a couple of Germans before they killed us. But I had not touched one thing. And the fellow was being driven past, and an artillery officer was being driven past, an English artillery officer. And I pressed this thing, and it was the trigger. Somebody had left a shell in the gun that went across his bonnet. He pulled up, he put his foot on the ground, and he said, "It's safer in the front line than it is here." And he went on and on and on, and I just stood there and I said nothing. I could have said to him, "Sir, this gun is in the second line of defence. If you want to pass it, you go around behind it, you don't go around in front of it." But I never said a thing. My sergeant major came down and put me under open arrest. By this time, the bullet had stopped whizzing around the desert. It had not killed anybody, to my knowledge. So they forgot all about it. As far as I know, I'm still under open arrest. Yeah, there were a few nights in Tobruk, I was a bit frightened. At one particular time when I went out to find that bloke, that bloke to take them out that night, that was my dangerous night, I think. But the Germans, they never patrolled much at all. We were on patrol all the time. We let them know that we were there when they could not sleep. They could not get any sleep. I think that was their main. We worried them all the time. And they watched that number 6 and 7. Rommel is supposed to have said, "Give me 4 divisions of Australians and I'll take on the world." They shoot in the dark and they never miss. He's supposed to have said that. Whether he did or not, I do not know. Well, I'm proud of the fact that I served in Tobruk. I'm proud of the fact that I served there. It was the first time the Germans were beaten in that war. We told the world that they could be beaten, and we told them how to beat them. And I think we done a good job. I was proud of the fact that I served there. As soon as Tobruk was over, we went to Syria for a while, and then they took us back to Australia. And Churchill wanted to send us to Burma. But our Prime Minister said, "No, no, no." What's his name, that Labor fella? Curtin. He said, "No, no, no. They're coming home to help us fight the Japanese." He wouldn't let us go to Burma. We were proud of it. We were pleased about that. We didn't want another Tobruk. Well, the mortar was helped the company. When they went into attack, they had an attachment of mortar attached to them. And the the sergeant of the mortar went up with the commanding officer of the company that was doing the attack. And if he struck a machine gun that was holding him up, he'd call on the mortar to try and knock it out. They'd get first shot at it, you know. If they didn't, they didn't. If they did, they didn't. That's right. Our best success was at Shaggy Ridge. all of our mortars were firing at the same time at the time when the company went in. They went in under our line of fire. We asked our platoon sergeant told us that the company commander told him we went right in under your fire, and when they started to retreat, we lifted our fire and got them as they were running away. That was our job to do, to knock out the machine guns that were holding them up. Australians are the best soldiers in the world, you know, but their discipline is not 100%. We had names for some of our officers. We called one fellow Barry the Bee. You know what the B stands for, don't you? He didn't mind it. He was a nice man, really, but he was strict on offenders. And he used to say that when they joined his company, they called me Barry the Bee, and if you do anything wrong, you'll find out why. We had another fellow, we called him Gestapo Fred. He was a captain. He used to take us on a route march. And when he come home, he couldn't find the way. He'd have to ask one of his junior officers the way to get home. And when he went into action, he got killed at Shaggy Ridge. Have you seen Shaggy Ridge at all?
I haven't been there, but I know the campaign you're talking
The photo, a little thing about that wide, you had to walk up to attack the place. I was attached to his company when he got shot off the side of the hill and killed. He went down about 200 feet. They found his body. It was lucky that they found it, but they did find his body. But they both, him and Barry, were both fantastic soldiers. The place to fight was the best was in the desert where you could see what you were doing. You couldn't see much in the jungle, you know. Couldn't see it. And it rained all the time. We were at Millen Bay, like we were at Millen Bay, and it rained a lot there. It started at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, pour all night. You'd be out in it, you know, and you'd have to be wringing wet. It didn't worry you much. Next morning you'd be dry in an hour or so. And the first night I went to Millen Bay, I didn't sleep because I thought I'd get drowned. I woke up in the morning, I couldn't see any water anywhere. It all disappeared into the sea, you know. But that was I liked the desert better. We were at Ballypapan when the war ended, and we were sitting down playing cards or something, I think it was, and a fella come along and he said, "The war's over." Oh, I said, "Go away and play trains, will you, Smarty? For goodness sake." He said, "It's fair dinkum." He said, "They dropped an atomic bomb on Japan and they peaked." It was true too. We had a boat. We didn't steal the boat, but we took a loan of a boat and we went fishing. We'd done a lot of fishing. One day they stole our boat. Of course, it was their boat, of course. And I only knew one word in their language, was Kambali, was come back. They didn't take any notice of that. I fired a shot across their bows. They brought it back down, and I said, "Listen," I said, "we only want this boat for another couple of days." I said, "and I'll take it back to you, and I'll thank you very much for loaning it for us." So I did that. It was their boat, of course. we only wanted the land, but